I did so much cleaning on Tuesday. I went and bought a bunch of stuff to help me clean better, including a string mop, like an old-fashioned string mop and a bucket. Because I think that's what you need if you want to actually get your floor clean. It's much better than the Swiffer, which does nothing, I think. Better Swiffer. I don't believe in the Swiffer. I have to say, I don't believe in the Swiffer. I don't think it does anything. I think you need a string mop and a bucket full of soap and water to really get those floors clean. It's propaganda. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in the Swiffer. It's for very light cleaning. But like, what's the point of putting in the effort if it's just gonna be very light cleaning, you know? Wooden floors. Okay, I mean for wooden floors, yeah, maybe use the Swiffer. But for like the kitchen, especially where it gets dirty from like the cooking oil and stuff, I used a string mop and I don't think it's ever been cleaner. These floors. So clean. And I felt cool while I was doing it. Like wringing it out, I felt cool. The price was $9.49. That's pretty cheap. For a big bucket of cheese. I'll keep that in mind for my next cheese party. Suspiciously cheap. All I can think about is that video of that one mukbanger who put the cheese in the fondue machine, in the chocolate fountain machine, and just swirling around and hitting him in the face. The spinny thing. That's a classic video, all-time video. I know, the poor guy. At least he got like millions of views from it. If it wasn't for Lobes, I never would have teased that one apart. Oh yeah, are these poets? Well, I know Edgar Allan Poe, I guess. I was thinking of the Pope. Rest in peace. I guess he's been on my mind. Did they pick a new one yet? I guess, hopefully I would have heard about it. Unless I'm really living under a rock. They just started. Maybe it'll be me. It won't be. I regret to inform you that it won't be me. I mean, what if it was? What if I was secretly a candidate? You just didn't know. I was one of the front runners. I would need a new hat. I mean, I love the big hat. The big hat is the best one. I couldn't sleep very well last night. I was eating too many nightmares. I think I ate one of your nightmares again. If this was yours, please let me know. And how you'll know if it was yours, if you had a good dream about a polar bear last night, you're welcome. I ate your nightmare. I dreamt that I was interviewing a man who had been mauled by a polar bear but survived. I was in his like little bungalow in the wilderness interviewing him. And I was like, so how do you cope with the fact that you were mauled by a polar bear here in this location and there's still polar bears around? Wouldn't I imagine that would be hard? And as I was asking him these interview questions, a polar bear broke into the house and went right for me, skipped over him and chased me. And then I woke up right as the polar bear was about to strike. And then it made me curious, like, where polar bears live. Because this guy seemed like he was living in, like, North America. But I mean, polar bears are in the Arctic. But there are a few places in, like, Alaska that polar bears can live. Also, northern Canada. Yeah, it is closer than you think. It is. We should heal the planet. just so that the polar bears can return to the Arctic Circle and leave us alone because they're scary and I don't want them near humans. Yeah. Fear of polar bears is real. They're terrifying. They're like the only or one of the only animals that actively hunts humans as a food source. They can breed with other bears? Is that true? Oh my gosh, what if they start breeding with grizzly bears and then the grizzly bears start eating humans? Sorry, this is not the content that we're here to make today. They have? That already happens? Not the super bears! Polar grizzlies? They're adapting. That's where Kodiak bears come from. Is that real? I'm afraid of bears. One time I went to the zoo and the bear looked at me with its beady bear eyes and I felt a chill go down my spine. But they're very cute and I like them, but they're scary. I felt like a prey animal in that moment when I locked eyes with the bear. They're very scary. They're adorable. And scary. I guess I am a prey animal. I'm just an herbivore. I'm just a tapir. Okay. Herbivore moment. You'd win. I would not win. I could not take a bear in a fight. Bear would leave me alone. Hopefully. My mom really wants to go. They have these expeditions in polar bear country where you get into like an armored vehicle and you go on a tour. And it's like $10,000 and you go out and see polar bears and she really wants to do that and I think she's crazy. I think that's terrifying. Cuz all the videos that you see are like the polar bears trying to figure out how to get into the armored vehicle. It's like you're giving them a can of tuna and they're trying to figure out how to open the can. That's basically what you presented to them. It's a food truck. It's exactly like that. It's terrifying. You would hate to be in the car when they figure it out, and I think they're pretty smart. Like a shark cage? It's even worse though, because sharks don't really want to eat humans for the most part. I mean, they don't. They don't like to eat humans. If they bite a human, it's usually because they're confused. Not because they actually want to eat it. A polar bear definitely wants to eat you. Anyway. I'm gonna run very far from any polar bears. That was my dream. My nightmare that I ate last night. Very delicious. Very delicious. I think I'm growing. Just a little bit. Plane ride must be rough. Actually, it can be. If I think about it too much. But the plane is like big enough, you know, that it's not that bad because I can stand up and stretch my legs, you know. You can walk up and down the aisle if you want. But if I start thinking about how I'm like trapped in this box in the sky and there's no getting off, like even if I cried, even if I cried to the flight attendant, they wouldn't stop the plane. That can make the panic set in a little bit. Any spooky stories? This is a true story. It really happened to me. It was late at night. The sun had set. The moon was not shining. It was a new moon outside. And inside sat me in my room. In my matching pajama set. Fuzzy socks on. Nothing could stop me from having a lovely evening, or so I thought. When I saw upon my ceiling crawling a spider. And now you may think, oh, all you need to do is kill the spider. But I knew in my heart that if I killed the spider, that meant I was inviting hundreds of other bugs into my room. So I sat there and I decided not to kill the spider. Today, I would be merciful, and the spider would live and protect me as I slept from many other bugs. But then, I laid down and turned off the lights, said my good nights to the spider. But I could not sleep, for crawling across my face came the spider. Actually, that's not true. The spider didn't crawl on my face. But I didn't know how to end the scary story. Oh, here we go.